Hello, good evening, and welcome to Ugress TV episode 31. I just clicked go live on YouTube, and it's gonna take a few minutes before people pop in. But I'm also I can already see that Atle and Lars and Irinso is already there. Good evening to you guys, and it's exactly 30 minutes until the concert starts. So if you're watching this as a recording, you can skip ahead 30 minutes. There's going to be a link below in the comments, or there's chapter markers after the live stream. If you want to participate on Zoom, you can join with your webcam. I'm going to post a link to that just there. It should appear in the comments. So if you click that, you will appear here with your webcam, but the music will continue to come from YouTube. G. Montagu, bonjour. Bonsoir, I suppose, in some parts of the planet. Oh, there's the Zoom link, yes. Perfect timing by me. So, is everything working? Yes, it apparently most stuff looks operational, so we can start having fun. I'm gonna give a few minutes for people to drop in before I start with some information, and maybe I should spend that minute on finding my note with the stuff I'm gonna tell you, because there's a lot of news to share tonight before we start the concert in 28 minutes and 34 seconds. Montagu, yes, or unwanted weed. That's a pleonasm, or what's it called when two words cancel each other? I guess the definition of weed is actually unwanted plants, but in Norwegian, Ugress means wild plants and weeds, but it does not mean marijuana. I get this question. I've got this question for 20 years now. I still don't have a good answer for why I choose Ugress. Ugress was supposed to be the label and not the artist. But as I printed my first vinyl, I needed a name for the artist, and I just chose the label name for the artist. And here we are. I'm stuck with weeds. Oh, there you see. No, Lars has joined us on Zoom. So if you also want to participate with your webcam and appear in my studio here, and also in some of the music videos that starts at 8 o'clock, you can join with the Zoom link I posted. All right, I'm gonna start chatting about all the stuff. That's while my studio is burning in the background. It's a release party tonight, so I have to remember that, but thankfully there's going to be a note down here when we start that informs me that it's a release party. So Cinematronic is the second single from the upcoming Retrotopia album, and that was released last Friday. I guess you guys, if you follow these live streams, you already heard it. I played it in a live stream earlier this year, and I didn't change it very much. I just kind of mixed it better and mastered it for release. The interesting thing with that track is that I've told you guys earlier also that one of my earlier songs, Undead Funeral March from 2018, that is mega popular in Asia, and my distributor has caught on to this, and they now want to focus on my new singles for Asia. So they have actually made an effort, and Cinematronic is featured on almost all of the, what's it called? Like, you know, I don't know what the stores are called, but it's like iTunes or Spotify in Europe. They have similar stuff in China and Asia, and my single is apparently featured in many of these stores. I have no idea what this means for me or for the song or for streams or whatever. It could be like, because, you know, for me, I've been featured on iTunes a handful of times. It doesn't help much. I get like a handful of extra streams that gives me like this much wine when like in payment. The Gaborski, hello, good evening, good to see you again. Montagu, what inspires me to keep making music? Oh, that's so many things. Other music, often. Like I hear somebody else and like, whoa, that was really cool. How did I do it? I figure out how they did it, or I don't figure out how they did it, but in that process, I discover something. Film music used to be a big influence, but not so much anymore.
Stuart, I would love to have you eating your dinner.
The reason my voice appears in the background is because the background music is the music from previous live streams, and sometimes I start chatting inside of the song, so that appears in the recording. Other inspiration, books and films, actually. I think that was like, so other media is probably the biggest inspiration. But other than that, I think it sounds very... I don't know how this sounds, but actually it just appears in my head. I don't need external things for inspiration. I just sit down and it kind of, I want to do that, I want to do this. There's not an external thing that triggers that, if that makes sense. And I don't know if that answer is pretentious or the opposite of pretentious. Hitch Ulriksson, good evening, greetings from the Alps. That reminds me, it's so nice if when you people show up and tell me where you are, if you're comfortable to share that, or just make up a location like outer space or whatever if you don't want to share, because it's so interesting to see where you are. And also, this is on my list here, what I'm going to talk about tonight is touring. I hope to tour this autumn, and I would like to know where you are. Of course I have stats that tells me where the listeners are, but it's also, I have like people post their location in these live streams, and places are stored in my mind, where to go just from that. So lost my track there. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Asia. I think the topic was done. So the single is out. It's doing quite well in Asia. I think in Europe, my assessment after a week is that like it's a mediocre single for me. Like it doesn't have a lot of plays, but also doesn't have 0 plays. So I guess that has to do with the long intro. What tends to get more plays for me at the start are songs with strong rhythm at the very beginning. Tracks like this, like Synda Myrkvida, tends to have a very soft start, and then they can suddenly explode much later. From the beach, Montagu, are you on the beach? Whoa, I would love to go on a beach. Where is a beach that you can be on right now? Pierre, bonsoir. Good to see you also showing up. We will look at your drawings shortly. I'm just going to go through a bunch of stuff before that and gather as many people as possible before you look at your fantastic drawings. Pierre has sent me some wonderful new drawings based on my work right now. So I'll get to that in a few seconds. As usual, I will catch up with your comments as I can, but also just keep you informed of a bunch of stuff happening right now. So my laptop, that laptop back there, which is currently hosting the wall graphics, but is actually my main production computer. A month ago, it died completely out of the blue. It just turned itself off and never came back on again. It was completely dead, bricked. I had to bring it in for a repair, and the repair took a month almost. I got that back 2 days ago. I did not lose any data, but I actually lost quite a lot of time, because first I spent a day trying to revive it, like figuring out how to get it back online, and then a day going to Oslo to hand it in for repair and dealing with all that shit. And then I had to spend 1 or 2 days to get an older laptop up to speed with all licenses and software installations and stuff like that, and sync it with all the cloud data and restore backups and stuff. And then the opposite when it came back now, because the computer I used as a backup, that's going to run the graphics for tonight. So I had to, when the computer come back, they replace everything in it. It's basically a new laptop. So that took another day of kind of like getting that back to speed. But now everything should be up and running. I'm just telling you this because later I'm going to tell you that I'm a bit behind on everything, and the graphics for tonight is not at the quality level I would like them for these live streams, I usually need 3 weeks of like 1 week of working with the audio and like not writing songs, but like adapting and arranging old songs for the live stream, and 2 weeks and working on the visuals. This time I had like 5 days, which is not enough. So there's going to be a lot of recycling, and that's the reason the graphics tonight is not as spot on as I felt they were over the last few live streams. Aha, interesting. So catching up with the comments there's a movie in the cinema that has a track that sounds like Launchmeister. I'm gonna check that out. Thank you, Montago. Yeah, I guess it's not pretentious, it's natural. Trondheim and Brighton, Florida. Very nice. Thomas, good evening. Ulrich Snaus. No, I'm sorry, but is it an artist? If it's a recommendation, please let me know if it's a recommendation. Sometimes I got really good recommendations here from people. I remember Hugo Kant, where somebody dropped a comment like I should check out Hugo Kant, and I was like, whoa, that was really great. I love his work. Pamela, good evening. Okay, I'm moving on to my comments as time is zooming by. And so, that's the biggest news, and what I'm most excited to talk about is my Resound reissue vinyl test print arrived a few weeks ago. And here it is. Check it out. That is a very impressive test printing package from the factory. I'm gonna be a bit careful with opening it here, but you see it kind of like it's reflecting in the light. And here are the vinyls. Pardon me, I have to step away from the microphone to pull out the vinyl. So this is the test print for upcoming Resound reissue. I did a survey in December, you probably remember that, where I asked you guys like which albums would you like to have on vinyl, and Resound was number 1, of course. So I pressed that one first, and the test print sounded okay. It's been verified and approved, and now they are starting the full print of that one. I'm gonna show you some pictures of that, pardon me. So that's my setup. It's just over there. If I turn off the comments, you can see the vinyl player is under there, another screen there. And that's where I'm testing. And you see an old, the first Resound underneath. I'm comparing it with that one. It sounded pretty good. It's been remastered. And I had to do some changes to it because look at that, it's very nice like embroidered logo on the test print package. Wow. And they even like, I finally got why they are called tea time vinyl, because there was a satchel of tea in the test print. It's very nice. So I had a good time listening to the test print. So the original Resound, here, that's the first, it's not my first LP. This E-pipe was the first one in 2000, and then I printed Resound in 2002. And that was a double. It's a gatefold. It has 2 records for high-speed playing for a bit better quality. And the reissue now I chose to make single, simply for postage instead of shipping heavy records all over, and also for touring. I want to bring this when touring, so if it's a double, that halves the amount of Resounds I can bring with me on tour, and with a single I can take twice as many with me. But then I had to take 2 tracks out because there isn't space enough for that on the vinyl. So it's gonna be 11 tracks instead of 13, or I can't remember how many originally there are, but it's a bit less than the original issue. So now that Resound, the test print for that looks okay, I have then shipped off 4 others, so in total 5 albums are currently in print. I will go through them as the concert starts with a quick recap of that. But that's going to be Resound, Cinematronics, Scavenger Royale, Boulevard of Broken Dystopias, Retrotopia, and I'm gonna release 2 new albums, 2 compilation albums, Echophonica 11 and Echophonica 22. These 2 are, the first one is classic Ugress tracks from 2000 to 2011, and the second one, Echophonica 22, is Ugress tracks from 11 to 22. So I guess you can see the pattern there. That means that in 2033 there's going to be an Echophonica 33, summing up the last decade up until that. Alright, yes, Frontline Assembly, Sunken Realm. That's often the artist, like, that's my favorite artist. Montagu, you asked for inspiration, and Frontline Assembly is maybe not an inspiration, but they're like a role model. I enjoy all of their work, and often, like, if I'm unsure what to do, I look at what has Frontline Assembly done, and then I do not copy them, but I would guess I find them inspirational. Yeah, I will check in with the comments now and stop my voice because I can feel I'm not used to talking this much. I'm reading comments now. Let's be nothing. I don't think I'm gonna sell 700,000 LPs. I'm not printing that much. I think if I did, I would have like 699,000 LPs in storage for a decade. Yes, it's a good question. I wonder if you commented on that on Patreon also. What should I do with the test prints? Because I have 5 test prints of this one. I will get 5 test prints of all records. That is, I get 1. If everything is fine with the first one, you don't check the other ones. But they are for to check that there are not mistakes. There could be 1 mistake on 1 LP, and if that mistake is not present on the 4 others, it's a coincidence or whatever. Like, it's a physical product. Things can happen. There could be a speck of dust or whatever in the processing machine. So I always get 5. And what should I do with them? I guess something Patreon is gonna make sense. But I actually haven't found an. Have you seen like good things other artists have done with test prints? Let me know. Montagu, thanks for lovely comments. That's really cool. I hope you're enjoying the beach in Florida. Delirium, yes. Delirium is the second. Of course, I love Delirium. Not the newest stuff. I'm not so much into the dance remixes and stuff they're doing right now. Or I don't think they are doing it. Their label is reissuing or issuing remixes of their classics. But I love them. I have like several Delirium vinyls down there. If I had known there was another Delirium fan, I would have displayed them on the wall behind me. I think Semantic Spaces was the album I discovered them, and from there I enjoyed the next ones. But I like more the first stuff. I have several of those on vinyl. All right. Yeah, random drawing could make sense. All right, 10 minutes. We're gonna move on to. I wanted to show you before have I talked about everything? Oh, yes, I'm gonna play at Parkteatret in Oslo. I will also announce this during the live stream when everybody's here. But I'm telling you already now that the first concert of the tour is already planned. It's gonna happen in Oslo at Parkteatret on October 5th. Tickets are already for sale, and you can... That did not sync. It's on the front of ugress.com. There is a link to the concert at Parkteatret. And for now, I'm gonna go over and look at the fantastic drawings that Pierre has sent me. Is that the button? Yes. Richard, good evening. So, here, I guess many or some of you might have seen this. Pierre posted that in a comment today, and he also sent it to my email earlier this week. It's based on like in the previous live stream there was a kids show mashup of I had mashed up all of the different children's television shows. So he sent me this in response, and I really like it. Also, how the Ugress logo is in the Colagol title. But what we were, he was emailing me like, "Oh, I would love to draw something. Like, what is on your mind right now?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm struggling. So I'm just an administrative person right now. I'm working on vinyl, and the process of like mastering and checking and doing the artwork, checking that everything is okay." So he sent me. Oh, I'm gonna go back to that. This one, fantastic drawing of like. Oh wait, there's the one with there was a version with hair with Nordic electro vinyl. I love it, so fantastic. Yeah, that's really me battling vinyl with like the vinyl shield and dead skulls. And I love the mood of the dwarf, or no, I'm not supposed to use that word. Short person. I don't know what's the woke thing to say there. But it's a fantastic character. I love the headgear and the vinyl player, everything. And there was also, he sent me this earlier. I can't remember, like I think last year when I started, there was a period I was experimenting with shakuhachi, a flute, like a physical flute. That worked okay in the studio, but it was a catastrophe on the stage because of all the feedback. But it was fun to play, and he sent me this drawing, which I loved so much, with the Reaper and the flute. And there's also this, I think, which I think he sent me earlier this year in a artwork he made based on, I guess, something I was talking about, working on a concept or composing, or I love it, like the dead character listening to music. It's wonderful, wonderful. But let's look at the Viking at the takeoff. Great work, Pierre. Thank you so much for sending this to me. I love so much seeing what stuff other people are doing, and in response to my music. I will post these in the museum. I have a part of my website where I post stuff that other people has done. So I'll get to that as soon as possible tomorrow. And for now, I will. It's 6 minutes until we start. So I'm gonna catch up to the comments before starting. And I think I've said everything. No, I'm also gonna answer comments from last time. I'm gonna do that first. So, as I explained before, but if you're watching this as the first time, once the concert part starts now in 6 minutes, things are happening very quickly, and I'm focusing on music and performance. And I do catch up to the comments whenever I can, but from that point on, I won't be able to see all of the comments. But I read all of them tomorrow. I see through the video, take notes, and I see all of the comments, and I write down, or I make a note to myself, if there are anything that passed me by that I should respond for the next time. So if you have questions, post them in the comments, and if I see them in real time, I will answer. If not, I see them afterwards and I will answer them. And I will now answer the questions from last time that I didn't see. And Lars asked if the alien movies are inspiration for these, the backdrops back here, as you see. We're gonna visit some of these scenes later. And he asked if Alien is an inspiration for these. I would say no, but of course yes, because my inspiration is generally the what would I call it? Like the last of the matte effects movies. You know, the 70s and 80s science fiction movies that often used mattes as backgrounds. And space was dirty and shabby and shitty. I wouldn't say like Alien is a direct inspiration, but it's kind of like this abandoned space station vibe from the 80s I'm aiming for. So yes, Alien is in that universe, but I did not look at Alien when shaping these graphics. And then 20 Thoughts commented that the pixelated pager gives me Windows 98 Winamp vibes, and that is perfect. I think this button triggers one. Yes. That was one of the most wonderful comments, because at first that somebody actually recognized that it's a pager. Yeah, thank you so much, 20 Thoughts. And also that it has the Winamp Windows 98 vibes. Thank you so much for being a very observant person and sharing this wonderful... I love it when my art actually hits home. Thanks. And now I will catch up with the real comments in real time here, where I guess it looks like you people are chatting by yourself and I'm chatting to nobody. So I'm very happy you guys are having fun without me over there in the comments. Anna, good evening. Bastian, good evening. Jo, good evening. Pierre, don't be shy. Your drawings are fantastic. Merci beaucoup, monsieur. You're gonna get the Ugress tattoo. Oh my god. That is insane. Which one? Or I mean like, what? Like the logo? That is amazing. Please send me a photo of that. I would be, and if you're okay with it, or we can email about that, I would be very happy both to see it personally, and if you're okay with sharing it, to just show a photo of it in a future live stream, that would be awesome. But I'm just curious for myself. Multitasking. I can't multitask. That's why I miss pagers, you know, from the 90s. You got like a very simple instruction, like call this number or go home or whatever. That's the perfect device for me. Okay, we are starting now in 2 minutes. Let me check that everything is up and running. Oh, and Petra also has drinks on. Can I put up? There you go. There you have everybody now on Zoom. Petra is having drinks at front. So I'm gonna take, and somebody has, M has their game controllers, and Thomas has a hattifnatt. So let's cheer everybody for drinks. Oh, champagne is going in the glasses. Oh, I'm so envious. How do I go back? There. Cheers everybody, and let's have fun with a concert for 45 minutes or so. Kasper, how are you? Are you still flying up and down around the world? It's good to... Yes, hello neighbor. How are you? How's everything up there? Ausweis Wobble from Hardanger. You have a German name, but you live in Norway. That's sounds like me. Well, cheers everybody. Let me focus on what I do best, and that is to make computers crash. Thank you, Anna. I'm looking forward to see the tattoo. Good luck. I hope it doesn't hurt. Okay, that was nice. I can stop the music there, and even it says 30 seconds. I'm gonna go and start it because it's 8 o'clock. So hello, good evening, and welcome to Ugress TV livestream episode 31. Woohoo! If you are not watching this as a recording, if you're watching this right now in real time, you can join on Zoom. I just posted a link to Zoom in the comments here. And if you click that link, you can join with your webcam here together with everybody. And you're gonna look like, not that button, this one? No, that one. There you go. You will appear here. And you can appear in the songs and also between when we visit the different spaceships, you will be around placed anywhere. So tonight is, let's put on some background music. It was a bit quiet in this abandoned spaceship. It's a release party and for cinematronic. Also, I'm going to give you a quick update on vinyl. I already spoke about that in the warm-up. We are having a concert in Oslo on October 5th, and there's more dates for the tour coming up, and it's going to be a lot of music. But first, just release party for cinematronic. Happy release day 1 week ago. I know a quick update on vinyl. I already talked about this, but if you join now precisely at concert start, I'm just letting you know. I have gotten the test prints from better to see it there. Resound test print. 5 albums have now been sent off to print. That means that in October I'm gonna have 8 albums available on vinyl. That's gonna be Cinematronics, The Wrong Future, Scavenger Royale, Boulevard of Broken Dystopias, Retrotopia, and 2 new compilation albums, Ecophonica 11 and Ecophonica 22. The vinyl process has taken a lot of time, a lot more than I thought. But it's important to do it now because the printing process takes a while, so I had to ship it off now. I will also concentrate on Retrotopia, and in a month I will send that off, and that means everything should be ready by October. There was also, if you watched the previous live stream, where I got the news that a Patreon supporter had passed away, that influenced me more than I thought. Took me by complete surprise. And then 2 weeks later, a family member passed away, which also takes me by surprise. But that means that I've been a bit busy with real life stuff for a few days here every now and then. And then my laptop also died, which again took a few days. The last thing I'm telling you is that under the Funeral March, an old track of mine has gigantic success in Asia, which means that my distributor really wants to use this, and they are asking for much longer lead times on singles. So I'm also working on the next single to finish to them. I have to, instead of finishing stuff 1 week before, I now have to finish stuff 8 weeks before. All of this means that I am insanely behind on stuff, and right now my focus should be on finishing the new album. That means that I only had a few days to prepare this live stream, so I'm apologizing before I start that the graphics for tonight is not up to the standard I would like them to be. I had to recycle a few things, I'm using old visuals for tracks. They don't always fit, but it makes for a nice atmosphere or whatever. So this is not optimal art. It's more okay, I'm just throwing whatever I can together, and I couldn't play as much new songs as possible, but there will be one new song, and I'm proud to present that for you. So that was it for the blah blah blah. I'm gonna check in with the comments after I played a few songs. For now, I'm just gonna start playing with Your Apathy is Important to Us. Thank you. That was your apathy is important to us. And I'm moving on. Thank you for the applause. I will check in with the comments after the next one, which is the Blackest Tree in the .xlsx. Thank you. That was the Blackest Tree in the .xlsx from Nebulous Bull, my side project that does this down-tempo ambient stuff like that, from 2020. This the graphics also is recycling the graphics for Nebulous Bull, which I'm using often in these post-apocalyptic stuff landscapes. So before moving on to the next track, I'm quickly gonna check in with the comments if there's something important. Ireland. Oh wait, yay! I think that's the first time from somebody in Ireland post something. Thank you, Esa Salmonen. That sounds Finnish. And Bastian Pierre, thanks a lot for your lovely comments. And also, let's take a look at the Zoom. This is hilarious. There, Tool is on a tram or on a train. And then there's there's Elsa also. Wow, that's so cool to see you guys. Leo also, hello, good to see you. You look like you are in space. I just wanted to show you, like, that's so cool. He's watching from the train. Okay, let's focus on a concert here and not on commuting. So moving on to the next song, which is Ghost from Frost from 2010. Thanks. That was Ghost from Frost from 2010. Wow, my voice is really loud compared to everything else. I'm going to turn that down a bit. So, and the next track is... it's not a track. I will tell you about that. We are playing live in Oslo on October 5th at the Parkteatret on Saturday. This is the release party for Retrotopia, which arrives on October 4th, the day before. So you can get tickets for that already at on the front page of ugress.com. There's a link to Ugress at Parkteatret where you can get tickets already. So we're right now working on more dates in more dates in Northern Europe. So what I'm curious about is, like, we already did this at the Warmup and Hangout. If you haven't already posted your location, please post your location if you're comfortable to share that. Like a city or a country is enough, or just make up a place in outer space if you don't want to share it. It's really fun to see like where everybody is. Like there's somebody from Ireland here, like yoo-hoo, and Amethystium. Oh, hello, good evening, good to see you also. We spoke about Delirium earlier, so rewind for that. There's another Delirium fan, and so post your location and oh, Evan, yoo-hoo. So both, so it's so fun, but also so I kind of like, there's quite a lot of people in Florida, so I should go on tour in Florida. That's it. I'm gonna move on to the next song, which is New Shoes Escape Maneuver. And here I'm just gonna flat out say that the graphics are totally not suitable for the song, but like I've been working on these graphics for another song. The song isn't finished, but the graphics are kind of, I can test them. And New Shoes Escape Maneuver doesn't have any, so I just like, okay, let's see how this goes. Thank you. That was New Shoes Escape Maneuver from 2009. which I must confess, I struggle a bit to figure out like how should I play this live? What should I do live? So I'm just kind of messing around on the violin and the saxophone and trying out stuff. And the reason I'm playing this track is because it's insanely high on my Spotify stats. Like people are really listening to this song a lot. Like I think it's the 13th or 14th most listened Ugress song, which puzzles me to no end because it's like a B-side. But there are much bigger things in the universe puzzling me to no end. Like Undead Funeral March has billions of streams in Asia, which again, what's going on? So I'm moving on to Battle 22 from 2004. And then I will check in with the comments after that. That was Battle 22 from 2004. Wow, that was exhausting, fighting all or dancing or partying with all those robots. I will check in with comments quickly before moving on to the next step, which is the next step is as the unskippable ad. So I'm just quickly scrolling up here and long motorbike trip by ESA. Cool. Ah, nice to hear road trips with Ugress. Ah, cool. I'm gonna read all of the comments tomorrow. As usual, I review them when looking on. Currently, I'd like to continue performing and not chatting. So quickly, just the regular, how to support Ugress. Please, the best way for me to support me is a way for me to reach you. So whenever I have something interesting, I can send you an email. So hook up at just typing in ugress.io, and you can subscribe to my mailing list, which has like 1 email per month, or whenever something happens, like a new song or a tour or whatever. You also have these traditional old school ways, like there's Whips and PayPal and Patreon. You can support me on those platforms if you prefer. I know that people prefer different ways. And Patreon is a way to support me in a monthly way. There are some examples of that on ugress.com/Patreon if you're interested in checking out what that is. But now I'm moving on to mending a tear in the fabric of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. That was Mending a Tear in the Fabric of the Night from 2018. And I'm moving on to Prompt with No Exit, which is finally a new song. The graphics are, it's not exactly the graphics for this song, but kind of the era is different. Like Retrotropia, the upcoming album, deals with all the different visions of the future the history has had, like so all the different sci-fi eras. Here, the song is in one era, but the graphics are for another. So there's a slight mismatch, but they kind of work together. So I'm doing this. The music is a work in progress, but let's just do it. That was Prompt with No Exit, a work in progress from the upcoming Retrotopia album, which arrives on October 4th. But the next live stream is already in 6 weeks, I think. So what's going to happen now, because the next song is the last song of tonight. It's AMSAT 1974. And after that, I'm going to like quickly shut everything down and completely focus on the album, because what has to happen now is me wrapping up everything we have been doing for the last year. I've tested out so many new tracks and stuff and all kinds of ideas. Now all of that has to go into a package and become an album and be sent off to the printers, because if I want that ready on vinyl in October, it has to enter the printers' pressing machines before the summer. So I am now moving on to the last song of tonight, and then the next live stream is probably going to be in June, the middle of June. I set it to 14, I think. It's going to appear later. But for now, thank you so much for staying here tonight and hanging out with me and having so much fun. And I'm so much looking forward to read all your comments afterwards. Thanks a lot for hanging out and being here. thank you, everybody. See you in June. Thanks for hanging out. Ciao.